The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties.
What is up, everybody? I am Jehuu Caulcrick, and this is Sparta MSU. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I will say it again for all my friends with the cheap seats in the 200, 300 level. Welcome to This is Sparta MSU. As always, I'm joined with Otis Wiley. Okay.
I'm surprised you. Hey, look, I'm surprised you didn't say I'm your host tonight with my co-host Otis Wiley and Jason Strayhorn, who is
you can't replace the big man.
He's outside. Catch me outside. He's an IMG. Catch me outside guy. Yeah.
Jason,
what's up, fellas?
On assignment
doing,
at
man?
the Under Armour Pro Day at IMG Academy. So it's gonna be a unique feel today. Stray's gonna be bouncing in and out. He's gonna be going all through, and the one David Stone.
Look, there's a Michigan State target right here, guys. See him?
Look at him.
Getting interviewed by the media.
Paparazzi
right
all
there.
out there, huh? They all over.
Oh, man. It's 17 media outlets here, and they're all around David Stone, big-time target for Michigan State. We'll try to catch up with him and see how he's doing here at the Pro Day. But you guys got to take it from here. It's a little loud out here, guys, so I'll keep you informed as we go through the show.
Hey, look, that's that Family Guy. Report live. It's raining. It's sunny. It's cold outside. This is awesome. Yeah. But yeah, good. Go ahead, Jay. This is your spot, man. You the host, baby, tonight.
I'm the host. I'm the host with the most. But hey, let's jump right into it here. Absolute big win for MSU basketball after that collapse at Iowa, and then they made it up yesterday on the road at Nebraska. They were down early and then came back with that 80-67 win. What's your take on it going into the last game coming up on Saturday and then getting into the Big Ten tournament?
Man, this game started out when we were live on Tuesday, right? And so as we were finishing up like post-production of the show, I think we were talking and kind of recapping of the show, and I couldn't keep my eyes off of the screen in my office because Nebraska was shooting lights out. Like there was nothing that we could do. Like we're not defending the three ball from the arc well at all. Like it's you would think we would learn from the Iowa situation, the under 2 minute mark, but like Nebraska was firing off all cylinders. And so when we go into halftime, it was an opportunity to really regroup. And you could tell a difference in when Ty Walker got onto the sharpshooters and you start to see some lockdown defense. Jaden Akins was the absolute MVP of this game. We cannot overlook AJ Hogger's his stat sheet for that game. Double was 14 assists to 1 turnover. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate that. We have that. Obviously, I was going to say that, but you beat me to it. But 14 assists. You talk about like a team effort. Joey Hauser was hitting. That second half is when you go on runs and you play defense. We talk about defense wins games. It doesn't matter what you do on offense end. If you can just stop on defense, defend the three, make sure you're not getting penetration and easy buckets or rebounds, offensive rebounds from the team opponent. This was a good win to come back to, like coming back from, but we cannot have this when we're sustaining and getting ready in March. But Saturday, we have Saturday, which is our senior day. and Ohio State is down this year from a program standpoint, but we cannot allow we still got some unfinished business. We got to finish strong because these numbers, this win truly matters to getting the seed. We already know we're going to play Thursday. It all depends on if that's going to be the morning session or the evening session. And everybody wants to do the evening session because you know how it is in the windy city of Chicago. No, you're playing noon. You really ain't got no time to do really anything. So we're looking forward to that Thursday evening session, but we do have to win against Ohio State, who still has some players on that squad to truly, upset us. So we just want to make sure we show out strong.
Yeah, it's got to be that continuous because, we looked at that, we talk about the collapse that happened, with the game at Iowa. But what Izzo said, they played good defense up until that last minute and a half in the game.
Absolutely.
And this kind of continued over to the Nebraska game. The last night on Tuesday night. So that defense has to continue, and they have to find that sustained power on offense to go on. They can't fall back, and especially going into tournament time now, you can't fall back and lose that momentum because it's going to come to whoever catches that momentum, catches that fire, and they're going to run with it. So Michigan State has to find a way to continue to play tough defense. They have to find a way to sustain that offensive power all through the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. You said it very well. I won't even steal your thunder on that one.
Yeah. So, you hit on Hogard, having all those assists and everything like that. Third, in school history with that many assists in a game. Big shout out to that. So that was the Spartans going against Nebraska this past. And now, hey, how about the women's?
Man, if anyone's listening, if you have been in the car and you're listening to the Spartan Media Network and the radio broadcast, and you can't get to your phone because you're driving, you can't watch the game live, the radio is an experience of it just keeps you in the know. I always think people say, hey, is radio dead? Radio is never dead because it truly captured absolutely everything. Shout out to Dalton Shelter. Shout out to Mandy Jones. I mean, the enthusiasm, the active calls, Dalton was it almost felt like we were in the national championship game when Dalton calls those calls, man. And Mandy's giving you the former player perspective, that's why I wanted to bring her on as a female broadcaster. By the way, the first female broadcaster in Spartan broadcast history. Secondly, when I'm just giving a notion to Women's History Month, which is this month, March, they were balling out, man. Nebraska came home to our house. We lost. It was a last second issue. We didn't come on top. The girls was balling. Dee Hageman, she balled out. It was just a good team effort, and you can tell it was just a juice just based off of the calls that you were hearing from the play-by-play with Dalton and Mandy. I mean, I would love to be there because it was electric. So how do you get it on the radio? So you need to go ahead and download the Michigan State Athletics app. And when you look at the Michigan State Athletics app, there's a schedule tab at the bottom, and it shows the game. You click on the game, and then it shows live stats, and it says live audio. Click the live audio, and the radio broadcast will pop up. And so if you're driving or if you're at home, you can Bluetooth that through the speakers. I typically, at home, mute the broadcast TV analyst, and I listen to the radio because that's my job. So
yeah, absolutely, Otis. And kudos to this. I'm stealing your word there. Kudos. In the absence again of Coach Merchant and taking over. It's a total team win today. I watched the game, and the ball movement by Michigan State, the transition that they play with, the defense that they play with. Nebraska had a moment there where they started hot. They started to shoot the threes, and Michigan State sustained that, and they just kept going and kept going. And it's tournament time now, so it's that win and survive mentality, win and advance mindset that they have. So hopefully they take that momentum throughout the Big Ten tourney, and hopefully, move on and continue to go down from there. But, shout out to the Michigan State women's hoops team for getting it done today.
Absolutely. So we actually the next game, which is tomorrow, we have a rematch with Indiana. Indiana's 2 losses in the Big Ten conference play was to Michigan State women's basketball. So that's going to be a tough one. Indiana's trying to have some vengeance to get that back. And so look forward to support. Tune in. Viewership matters, but if you can't tune in, listen in on the radio. That's all I ask. It is free. It's free.
It's going to be an intense game because, it's tough. In any sporting event, it's tough to beat a team 3 times.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So this is what the Spartans are on the verge of doing next week there. And we're going to check in real quick here with Jason. We see behind you there.
Oh, look.
I know they're doing some standing broad jump over there right now.
Oh, yeah, you got that right. Jehuu, look, they're doing standing broad jump. I just saw David Stone just, pop like I don't know, man. I mean, he jumped out of the building over there, so to speak. I think he crossed about 10 feet on the broad jump for a young player weighing about 280 pounds, defensive lineman. It's legit. A lot of guys out here turning a lot of heads, getting invited to Under Armour All-American games. That's the goal for this Pro Day event that they're having right now with 17, like I said, media outlets on hand. Just wanted to give you some insight, some views of David Stone as he's going through his workout. When he's done, we'll try to get him on for a quick couple of words and talk to him about Michigan State and how that process and the recruiting process is going for him. All right, guys.
All right. Hey, this, what's crazy?
Adaptability here.
Yeah, look.
Adaptability. So we have Jason in Florida, doing that thing there. And now, Otis, you're not at home. You're not at your office. Where are you?
I'm in West Michigan. Grand Rapids. West Michigan Spartans has a winter tailgate every year. When I was a fundraiser, this was the event to be at. A lot of loyal alums on this side of the state. Our very own Darien Harris was honored as the Legacy Award for West Michigan Spartans. Darien Harris is definitely one of those guys that's going to be like under the Forbes 30 list, because this guy is putting awards after awards on his belt, but he's not doing it for the clout. This is what he's living and he's breathing, and he's passionate about the work that he's putting our guys out into the community after they're done with their 4 to 5 years in Michigan State. He's developing those guys to be young boys coming in, but being men when they leave. And so Coach Tucker was able to address the crowd earlier before Darien stepped up there, give us a quick update on some recruiting and obviously spring game. But I am here in West Michigan, but I want to talk about, it's crazy how the format is like, Stray was a sideline guy. It almost feels like we are in the booth and we're throwing it down to Jason, right? Like it's like a full circle. It's weird. Like it's like, all right, guys, I'm coming back to you.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's really cool. And congratulations to Darien. From coming from a kid from the DC area, come to Michigan State, playing there, and continuing to stay, at his alma mater and doing these great things, because he walked the shoes and the path that these guys are walking right now. So he understands all the triumphs that he went through, all the trials and tribulations that they're gonna go through, the hardships, the criticism, the praise, everything. He can impart that wisdom upon them now. And big shout out to him for injecting that juice, that energy into the program. They're a true Spartan dog, within the ranks of the building, walking through and injecting that into the young guys that are going there. Big shout out to Darien for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we hit on it a little bit. Saturday for Michigan State basketball, it's senior day. We have some guys that's going to be, playing their last game at Spartan Stadium.
It's kind of weird, man. It's almost like I don't know if I'm come back, so I'm not going to do the seniors, tradition, which, as everyone knows, is tuning in or is going to watch this. You have the tradition of you kissing the Spartan head on the court. Joey Hauser already did that last year, or we technically walked last year, so he won't do this. You see our very own legacy, Steven Izzo, has decided to return next season. why would you not? Like,
why not?
Why not? Like, just go ahead, my brother. This is, almost like a graduate student like year where he's able to, I feel like he's going to follow in his dad's footsteps, but neither here nor there. But Malik Hall, Tice Walker, and Jason Wittens, they are deciding if they're going to come back. So they still have an opportunity to say, I can opt in. I'm going to not take my COVID year. These guys have a COVID year. So they still are deciding if they're going to, put their name into the hat. The best part about basketball is that you have a window of opportunity with putting your name in, getting the evaluation, and then there's a certain time where it's the drop dead date where if you don't like the evaluation from the NBA scouts or, your trajectory projections, then you're able to take your name out and come back. And I think this is an opportunity where if these guys come back, we're there. Like, we are there with this recruiting class coming in. We are going to be there. And so I don't know what Coach is going to do to put out the red carpet, or he's going to put some sales pitch on, but those dudes come back, it's going to be trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah. You talked about the fact that these guys have the opportunity to reach out, kind of put those feelers out with the NCAA to see where they are, their draft stocks and everything like that. It wasn't like that a few years back. I think that's something that's good now that gives these kids an opportunity to really get a true feel. Hey, do I need to come back, work on my game a little bit more to get, ready for the next level? And I just don't have to go out there. And at the end of the day, it's like, oh man, this was not the best decision for me. So I think that's great. And like you alluded to, Otis, that if these guys come back, if Walker and Hall, come back with the class that we have coming in, this is going to be one of Coach Izzo's best teams that he has assembled in a long time, dating back to the Flintstones, with the way that the hype that's coming in, the potential of these young cats that's going to be coming in there. So it'll be very interesting to see, where they decide to go. But I have to say this is probably one of the coolest. I want, watching some other senior days and everything like that. I don't know if I know of a cooler basketball senior day tradition as Michigan State has for, the game pretty much being stopped, and as a senior, you get to go there and one last hurrah, wave to the crowd, kiss the Spartan logo in the middle of the court.
Don't you wish we had that for football? Oh my God, that would have been amazing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's like your backup comes in, it's like, Jehuu, get out. And you do that. Yeah, like you didn't have that like grand finale, right? Of like, hey, this is it. I think it is a great tradition. Little Birdie has told me that the head coach from, across the border of Michigan, Ohio border, does not like that we do this. And truly has raised concerns or raised, not hell, but he has raised like feedback of like they can do that after. But like, one, compete, bro. You should be winning the game then. Like do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're winning, we're gonna get our subs in and we're gonna allow them to do this because it is a tradition that was started by Sean Respert. And when he did it, it has been from women's and men's basketball, it has been the highlight of everybody's 4 or 5 year career. So it's emotional too, because you get really tied to these guys. Like, you've seen these guys develop. And so when they leave, you're saying, thank you, appreciate what you did for the green and white. And, we'll see what Saturday, man. We got to take care of business first, which I know they know that, but it'd be great to take care of business and do the good fall off, because Nebraska senior night, we spoiled it. So I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. That, and you said it, if you don't want it to happen, don't do it. If you play defense and you get mad about a guy doing a touchdown dance, don't let him score.
It's true. Facts. 100% facts.
It's that simple. If
you like win with class, like what you mean?
If you're mad at a guy getting doing a sack dance, don't give up a sack. So with football and basketball, I think it's a little different. Do you remember your senior day? Like,
oh yeah, like it was like yesterday, man. Like we did the like earlier, we walked out, with your family,
Yeah.
And Coach D would come to each couple or family and take the photo. What I wish they would did, which they did, I want to say later in Coach D's years of
when you ran out of the tunnel.
When you ran out of the tunnel, but they got their jersey framed.
Right.
And we were remember we were done. I was like, oh, here's the bag. Here are all your jerseys. Here are your holy socks. And the one ritual was the best one, was that you're able to run around the entire stadium. Like basketball does that after every game where they slap the end zone. But you're able to truly pay homage and say thank you for just support around the entire stadium with a rose. So when you ran out, you did the whole lap, and then you lined up with your family, and then you did the photo op, and then you got ready for the game. But I do remember it's in my family's great room. It's me and my parents, and it just shows you the journey, the picture where you're kind of emotional, but it shows the journey of what you've been. When you got there, you were a young boy, didn't know your left from your right, and then when you're leaving as a senior, it just shows that growth. And it's on my mom's and dad's wall in their great room, man, which every time I go in there, I just look at it. It was like, man, those were some great times. Those were great times. So,
but yeah, and it's a combination of all these great feelings and everything like that. And it's something not just for the players but for the fans, because as you come and you talk about that growth. You grew up in front of these people, and these people, they grew with you. So that's why that senior day moment is a great feeling, a great thing. You talk about going around, high fiving people. The same thing we're talking about. You got to win if you want to do that. That's a little bit
true. That's just true. And that's the one thing is how all the underclass, we can't send our seniors out as losers.
Yeah, because that's that one thing. Because everybody knows the objective. You go into the week. The goal is send the seniors out as winners. And as a freshman, as a sophomore, junior, hey, this is for, you're playing this game for these guys. So Absolutely. On Saturday, when the hoop team go out there, they're going to know that we're playing for these guys here. So, definitely, keep that up, keep that going. But, kudos to the hoop team. Kudos to what Coach Izzo's doing this year with the season that they're having. And let's end it on with a win at the Breslin Center.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I know we have our good friends at IHOP. Thank you for Kyle and his sponsorship and opportunities to provide and support us. Obviously we want to say here's a commercial break brought to you by our friends at IHOP.
At IHOP, the $6 Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity combo is back. 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips, and 2 fruit-topped pancakes. Only from IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every order. Dine in only. Limited time at participating locations. Prices may vary.
When you join IHOP's new rewards program, the International Bank of Pancakes, and start stacking pan coins toward free food, you get a smile on your plate. Download the app and join the rewards program today.
Well. So 2 of the studs that lit the field up on Saturday in Spartan stadiums, now they're going to pretty much culminate and put a bow on their collegiate career as they make that next leap, to vie for a position on the coveted 53-man roster for whatever NFL team, that selects them. And the way to do that, one of the steps is the NFL Combine, and that is this weekend. And we have a wide receiver, Jaden Reed, that's there. And we have our punter, all-world punter, Bryce Behringer. He's there as well. So this is the time that is for these guys to show what they have. This is the time for them to show up and show out, as you would say, Otis. What the thought process going into them. Who do you think has the most to prove? Out of these guys.
I don't think neither one of them got to prove, to be completely honest. I mean, you already saw Reed's results at the Senior Bowl, where he just torched and cooked every DB. I think it's more so of the interviews is the most important piece. So JU, myself, we were fortunate enough to get that invite to the combine, right? So I I was not fortunate because I had just had knee surgery. So all I did was truly was capitalize on the interviews with the coaches, the franchisees, and then, our D coordinators, so I wasn't able to test. I feel like if I was able to test, it would have been a whole different story for my career in the NFL, obviously. But this is an opportunity for Jay Reed and Beringer to just take it all in, and it's truly testing. Like, they want to see, how do you truly test and perform when all eyes are on you at the combine? And like the combine, everybody's seen, the highlights, or they've seen the stuff going on the NFL Network where they watch it. But people don't know, Jehuu, about behind the scenes of like how much pressure, like, you have built your entire life in your career to get the shot, to get into the NFL. Like, that's your mecca of your goals. And it is very, very stressful. Like, it is stressful to the point of you are legitimately being evaluated on every inch of your body, your mind, your skill, and you got to be on point because it's the ultimate. We call it the biggest staffing. What is it called? The biggest job fair, their career fair. It's like the biggest national career fair on the national landscape of these guys are trying to get a job. It's a shot. Just give me a shot. Stray, what you got, man? I just went on mute.
A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure for those guys at the combine. I know they don't get much sleep nowadays. They keep everybody up. They keep you highly stressed and see how you perform under pressure. Because, let's just face it. I mean, when you get a job in the National Football League, it is a high-pressure job. You are on a different platform. So they want to really make sure the people that they invest, the players they invest that kind of money in, that they are battle tested and they can stand up to that kind of scrutiny. And, as you've seen today, you see guys, the number one could have been a guy who's in a lot of people's eyes, a top three type of a defensive lineman out of Georgia. What's his last name? It's Jalen, correct?
Yeah,
Carter.
Carter.
Jalen Carter. He had to go turn himself in back in Athens last night for reckless driving that it actually ended up in one football player and a support staff being killed while they were celebrating the national championship game. So, teams are looking at that. That's absolutely going to affect this draft stock. I don't think it's going to go too far down, but he went from a top 3 pick down to the middle of the first round. I mean, that's a lot of people say, well, that's still a lot of money, but he did lose. And we have to still always think about the people's lives that were lost in that accident. But, it's all about the decisions and the choices. That's what you're being evaluated on. Nowadays, when you look at there's some freaks, man. I mean, I remember they used to have a guy here and there that would run these, sub, 4, 840s, that are weighing 260 plus pounds today. I mean, I saw a guy 285 pounds run a 4.5 defensive lineman. I think he was from your neighborhood, Jehuu. He was from over your hood, man, and he was smoking it out there. They showed him in comparison to running against guys like Aiden Hutchinson, who we all know and love in Spartan Nation, and Joey Bosa. And it wasn't even close. It's like he beat him by like 7 yards in the 40, which you guys know. That's killing it, right?
I was going to put you on the spot to see if you could pronounce that man's name, but I'm not even going to.
Tutu. I don't even
Tutu, can you?
No, I can't.
I'm gonna try.
I don't feel so bad.
Adetomiwa, Adeboy way. I tried.
Yeah.
A 4.5, yo. That's crazy.
Jay, you ran that.
I did run a 4.5.
You too.
But I was at 255, not 280. Like this big bloke is. Yeah. So this is the thing, though. Like, for all the people that are out there listening, and we're talking about the combine and everything like that. Think about this. Think about the biggest job interview that if you could get any job that you want in the world, and this say, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity. You can get this job, but what you have to do is you have to come to our facilities for 3 days. All right? For 3 days. And what we're going to do is we're going to scrutinize everything about you. we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna poke and prod every part of your body. We're gonna go through all your medical records.
Pause. You need to paint the picture, because that was like that experience. Like, I honestly felt violated. I felt violated, to be completely honest with you. Like, so I don't know how it was with you, but every team, they broke the team doctors out in like groups of 4s or 6, whatever. And so it was like in a room, and they had these black drapes, and you had these individual rooms, and you go in there, and then basically you wait your turn. They say, hey, Otis Wiley, Michigan State, defensive back. I think I was number 4. I don't know my number 50. I think 50 was the DB. What? Get on the table. You lay down on the table, and I swear, I swear for the Lord himself, one of those doctors, I had a turf toe, like in my medical. I swear to the Lord himself, this man grabbed my big toe. I swear he jumped up and like fell to the ground. Because I immediately responded kind of tensed up. I was trying to be strong because like that toe was tender. It was a tender big toe, boy. It was like, I'm gonna get you sucker to the toe. And I remember them like saying like, what did you have something on your knee? Like, because I already had surgery, so I had to be up in front and honest. I just had surgery coming in here. But they were going back to like Pop Warner. Like, I had a hernia surgery at 10 years old. Like, bro, that hernia ain't gonna influence my stuff right now at 25 years old. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then to add to that too, it's like, so you go through all the medical side of things, and then if there's one thing that they don't, we're questioning this, we're gonna send you for an MRI. So you have to leave. You have to go to the hospital and then wait in a line for people. I remember I went for an MRI on my shoulder because I had a sprained AC joint. And so I was there at the hospital till about 2:45 in the morning, and we had to go the next day. That's when my group was going out on the field to do the on-field drills and everything like that. So it's that stuff. They have the private eyes that are there and, asking you about this, hey, what about this time that you were at Rick's and this happened?
Listen,
you had to answer that question so many times.
He was like, I was at Rick's.
Like 20 years old.
And yeah, I'm a frequent flyer, yo.
Yes, they ask you the background check, all these different things, and they try to figure out. They ask you the same question so many different ways to try to get you. Like, for example, a close buddy of mine had a question, like, hey, do you have a gun? He's like, no, I don't have a gun. Oh, okay. So, so where do you keep your gun at home? Do you keep it somewhere safe? No, I don't have a gun. But so do you, is it locked away under the bed? It's somewhere else? I don't have a gun, but they try to get you all these different ways to ask you these questions.
So D coordinator at the time of the Bears asked me a question. He looked at my rap sheet. He was like, hey, I see you're a preacher's kid. And, basically went straight to the gut, like the jugular. So if I'm a Buddhist or if I'm a Muslim or if I'm a, whatever, am I able to get into heaven? And I was just like, I basically was like, I kind of fumbled and mumbled like, it's teacher's own. I just know what I was raised, and I know that how I get to heaven is only through the Father. But
oh wow!
Then he said, listen, I'm looking for a DB and a safety that's going to be sure about the answer. And then he went in and said, you should have started with the only way to get to the Father is through boom, right? And I'm like, oh, that just messed me up. I was like, we just talked about coverages and we went straight to a strong religion, yo.
Right. But that's the thing. That's what they try to, people don't realize that's what they try to get you to do. You're in, if you get the meeting, with the GM and the coaches and stuff like that, they want to know, we can see what you do on the field. We can see that. We can see you catch. We can see you run. We can see all that. But what's between here? What's between the ears? All right. Do you know coverages? Do you know? They'll say draw up your favorite. If it's 4th and 1, the game's on the line. Draw your favorite run play, and how do you block it up? So that's the thing, you have to dissect and know the ins and outs about the game of football. And you're put on this, and the bright lights are put on you. Like Jason said, if a team's going to invest tens and millions of dollars in you, they have to know that they're making the right pick. So these guys, Jay Reed and Bryce that are out there, congratulations to them for getting this far in their career to that point. Good luck, run well, kick well, catch well, and just do you, boogie on down.
Yeah, if you're obviously send those guys some support, whatever it's quotes, what if it's just, hey, thinking of you, do your best, follow them on social, but just support them, send them in some direct messages, just lift them up, because it is one of the most important 3 days of your career of like setting yourself up for success in the professional ranks. So yeah, we'll get it right, get it tight, but
yeah, good luck to those guys. And we have some other guys that are not at the combine, but they're right now. They're, training, making their preparation for the next day. They're going to be, the next time we see them will be at Michigan State for Pro Day. Here's Barker. I'm always one play away. That's the motto that he lives by. The sky's the limit. What I can achieve at the next level. I feel like my best football is ahead of me, and the sky's the limit. That's what he says. Always one big play away from being touchdown maker.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You think about the league. The league is they made the tight end spot, like the tight end position, relevant. Like you think about the Gonzalez's of the world back then, or the Shannon Sharps, like the tight end spot has always been legit in the league. But like you got now Travis Kelce's of the world, you got the guys really putting in work, getting paid. And Daniel Barker's that guy that has the skill set to show off and show up, man. And so I still wish we would have utilized him with his fullest capabilities this past season. But
yeah,
he does have that ceiling to his point. Like he hasn't played his best football.
And I just look for a consistency at the next level with him. That's what he needs to have, that consistency. Now, you guys are away, training away. Did you go anywhere to train, Otis, or did you train back in Atlanta?
I went to Florida, and I was with Louis Delmas out of Western Michigan. So he was a safety, went with the Lions. He got drafted first round Lions, and then I was free agency. But when you think about those two, like you get so bit out of your head because you're like, stats versus stats, dog. Like numbers, I thought numbers don't lie, right? But clearly they look at the full ceiling, and then obviously he was a healthy guy. But I did go to Florida. And then he came back. I went to Georgia. So I was in Atlanta and Gwinnett County. My cousin Terrence Mathis played for the Falcons, had a spot where he was training guys. So I went out, did a little family matters type deal. And
nice.
But surgeries, man, like freaking, I ain't going to bring it up, but them surgeries, man. your boy, Monroe, man. Your boy, Monroe.
Yes. Oh boy. So, boy. I trained in Indianapolis. My agent, Buddy Baker.
What part in Naptown?
Right down St. Vincent Sports Performance Center.
Oh, downtown?
Yeah.
The Pacers practice?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's where I trained.
Okay.
So, it's out there in Naptown. Don't get wrong. I was on Broad Ripple a few times.
Absolutely, you were. I wouldn't put it past you. You got some Kilroys?
Oh, yeah. The slippery noodle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, but, like I said, good luck to all those guys, that's going out there. But, hey, let's put Jason on the spot here. What's going on at IMG?
Well, there's now they're doing more position work. You have running backs getting the ball, doing what they do. You know what that is, too. You got a lot of DBs here. Otis, in your neighborhood, they're working. They've got Ellis Johnson kid that is committed to Georgia. I think he ran like a sub 4.3. I just read that someone ran a 4.39 linebacker in the combine today. You got some kids here at the skill level that are doing some outstanding things. But again, I did speak to Stone, and he said that he would come join us when he was done with the workout. So stay tuned for that.
So, Jason, before you go, we didn't have these things when we were coming out of high school. So explain to the more in detail, like what is the, because like the biggest thing like that I had was a Nike camp, Nike combine.
Yeah, it was. I think the one I went to was Ohio State, had that regional Nike camp. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But now is this is happening at like prep schools and other like top high schools across the nation, right, Trey?
So no, none of the other high schools. They do have them at different locations around the country. If you go to like Under Armour, uanext.com, you can see the different locations. I think they have one in Maryland. They have one in Los Angeles. They just completed one in Atlanta. There's another one in Dallas where they just bring everyone from the region to it. This is specific for IMG Academy because they are sponsored by Under Armour. So this is kind of a special deal for this particular school because of their deal with Under Armour. But yeah, they just did one where they had the number one players in high school from Georgia, which is a serious spot, a recruiting hotbed for Mel Tucker. He loves Georgia. There's a lot of young players there from seventh graders that are going into eighth grade to get to that Under Armour All-American game for the eighth graders, and then high school players that get their invites, and they can get invites as freshmen all the way up until their junior year. So there's a lot of guys like David Stone who's already had an invite, and we're waiting to see if he's going to actually accept and go to the Under Armour game, the All-American game that happens in December or early January. I believe it's early January. There's 2 All-American games in high school. You have the one for the Adidas one that's in San Antonio, I believe, Texas, and then the Under Armour game, which is in Orlando, Florida. So this is the one. It's about 5 or 6 camps set up. This is one of them, and this is where they get the pool of players that are going to be the All-Americans.
Are those prescription sunglasses David Stone has on at night?
Absolutely not. Yeah, he's a little Hollywood with it, but it's okay.
He got the stunner shades on, bro. It's nighttime. Look at
You see that?
I saw it. I was like, man, is the lights that bright?
So my question is straight. It's like, so a guy like Stone, who has these offers and everything, what's the advantage for participating in a camp like this?
Well, I guess it promotes his brand, really, if you think about it. 17 different recruiting service outlets, Sports Illustrated's here, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, and obviously the On3, 247 Rivals, all those types of publications are here. And those are just going to get spread out all over the internet. Everybody's going to talk about them. Everybody's going to get to know him better. And it just really expands his brand, gets more followers on social media, which ultimately leads to a higher brand value if he's into that kind of thing, which I think most people are, no matter who you are, what you're doing. So this is a perfect platform for a guy like him or any player that can get here and really stand out in a way to improve their brand. And obviously, maybe, either prove people right or prove people wrong. That's really what he right now, a guy like David Stone is trying to make sure that people know that he really is the guy. He's not shying away from any workouts. Where you do see some of these top-ranked players, seen them guys in camps, and they just refuse to do workouts. They just want to go around and, tour facilities and put the uniforms on, but they absolutely refuse to do the workout, and that's a red flag. You won't be able to do that at the next level. As you guys are just talking about the combine, you may be able to forego working out at the combine, but you're going to get it done at the pro day. So, and you got to be a top 10 guy to even consider doing something like that, which is rare nowadays. Most guys still do the workout. So this is the proving grounds for the younger guys, the next generation. When you look at that All-American game, you see a lot of the guys who are become stars in the NFL. I mean, it's really a short time when you think about it, guys. You're in an All-American game in high school. If you're on the trajectory to be a high draft pick, I mean, they're in school where they early enroll in January. 3 years later, they're gone. They're in Indianapolis at the combine and on a pro team. I mean, it's not that long of a time when you really quantify the time between here and the NFL. And these kids are getting exposed to it, so it makes it second nature for them, and they're used to being in front of cameras and performing under pressure. This is one of those incubators that shows that you can do it, or if you can do it, and you need to work on it at an earlier age, and then you can shine when it's time, like you guys are talking about right now at the combine for guys like Jaden Reed and Behringer.
So, Stray, are they doing everything that the combine is required for testing? Like, are they running the 40 on the track or on the turf?
On the turf, electronic time.
Okay.
So they have the lasers out here. There is no hand timing. They're doing the 3-cone drill. They're doing the pro agility, the 20-yard shuttle. They're doing vertical leap, which is now on those pads. It's not to go up and touch the little spinning things that you see. They're still doing that at the combine. Now they're using those jump pads. What is it called, Jehuu? I think you know what that is, right?
I was going to say the Verti. I thought it was going to be the Verti. It's the Vertimax, right? Like
Vertimax.
What you hook the bungees up to.
Well, I know the bungees, but it's still like a vertical.
Yeah. I'm not.
There's
I'm
no
not a
bungee
fan of
cords
those.
on you.
Give me a target to go up and hit. I'd rather have that.
You know why? I know why. You like that. Because you measure like this, and then you jump like that.
That's what they teach you. That's what they teach you. Lock that shoulder blade down, boy. Yeah. I do wish they gave you the running start like they give basketball combine. It's like, bruh.
Oh,
I'll jump
those
out.
guys got
I'll
to
jump
run
out the
all
gym.
day. Those are the best athletes in the world, man. The NBA, man. That's a whole different level.
I mean, defensive backs, they should be all skills. They should do that because you running and you jumping. You should do that. But no, we appreciate this insight, man. This is actually great for the listeners, shedding light on like what's happening. Like this is the journey that people don't see these kids have to go through to get to where they get to on the Division I level. And so you being there just gives us that insight. Appreciate you breaking that down. And hopefully you let us know when you get David Stone and hopefully he's in the time frame of
if we don't have time to do it, I'll try to get it done and I'll record it for the next time that we are on, which would be Tuesday. So either way, you'll hear some words from old big David Stone, the 5-star defensive lineman.
Absolutely. Thanks, Stray. Appreciate that report, man.
No problem. We're here.
Yeah, and guys, appreciate it from Stray, appreciate it from everyone that's watching. And if you have not yet hit the like button and the subscribe button, or if you have not told a friend to tell a friend and tell the mama and them, this is how you can do it.
Thanks for tuning in to This is Sparta MSU. Interested in hearing more from us? Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. Click on the link in the bio to head to our link tree for more information. Help us grow our following by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Tell your friends and family to do the same. Have an idea for a future episode? Let us know in the comments section below. And now, back to the show.
All right. Oh, we got some events coming up here.
We do.
And
one that we already know we've had on the show. It's our quarterback, number 5, High Five Foundation. The guy who is truly one of the best quarterbacks I've played with is Drew Stanton. He has a second annual Celebrity Bowling Challenge. Me and Jehuu, we have been the privileged to obviously play with Drew. He used to obviously have his golf out, and we would golf in. And this is a bowling challenge where you're able to, one, sign up, come join, or donate. It's at the end of this month. Hopefully we'll be still playing in March Madness for Michigan State basketball. But Friday, March 31st, 12:30 to 4:30, Westland, Michigan. Definitely, if you're on that side of town, come out, support. We will have Drew on next week to give a little bit of promo and talk about the event and the nonprofit organization he has partnered with. But Drew has always been a stand-up guy. It's always been about community, and Jehuu can attest to it. He probably can add more color to it than I can, but I've always seen him be a servant leader for the community through and through since he was wearing the green and white.
Yeah, he definitely has been. He's one of those guys that got the guys on the team. Hey, let's go. Thursdays, when Coach Felina will get us around to go do stuff, and we go and help out with the special needs school, go to the hospitals. Drew is one of the driving factors in that. So that's why I'm excited about this bowling. This is your chance, Spartan Nation. This is your chance. This is MSU. All you listeners that you can bowl with me.
They're like, are you a professional bowler? Like,
I am not, but we will have a good time. I will be there at the event, Ballin, at it. And
I'll be there too. So
Otis will be
holler
there as
at
well.
us. Come holler at us. Give us some love. But it's a great call.
Let's do this. Otis is going to be there. I'm going to be there. I think Stray might be there. He's going to try to figure out if he can get there or not. But hey, I'm recruiting a team. Hey, if who wants to come on, let's have our teams here, and we can team Choo Choo. We can take these guys down, and it's for a good cause. We'll eat good, we'll drink good, we'll bowl good.
Oh, he just took the prime quote. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we have that coming up. And then what do we have coming up this Saturday, Otis?
Big King Kong Keon Coleman is on Saturday, Brighton, Michigan. You're looking at IHOP activation here, where he will be signing autographs, taking photos, eating some pancakes, and we'll see if they're going to do a choo-choo versus Keon. How fast can you eat the stack versus, how many pancakes you can eat, because, Keon still has to compete. Not saying Jehu's done competing, but, he's not playing no more. So, calorie taking.
Just for the record, I know I can't throw down that many pancakes. I love it. I love to enjoy it. I love to savor it.
You need to have a chicken wing eating contest.
Now we're talking.
That boy. But yes, Keon, man, Saturday, if you are obviously in that area, Brighton, Michigan, great breakfast from IHOP. Keon will be there, full in effect, show green and white love. And the best part about it is he is donating some of those proceeds back to Spartan Strong Fund. Doesn't have to do that, but out of the kindness of his heart and supporting those victims, he will be doing that. So come out, show up, show out, green and white love, bring the kids, the family. It was a nice morning breakfast for dinner, breakfast for dinner. And
that's
so
a treat in the Caulcrick house.
Absolutely, it is true. This is dessert. Syrup is dessert, sugar.
Right.
So yeah, come on out Saturday, and we'll be there to show up and support him as well.
Yep, and definitely. And so yeah, announcement. We have a special guest coming on the show on Tuesday, March 7th. Otis, who do we got on the show?
We have the Board of Trustees advisor, Dr. Rima. She will be coming on. She is the chair of the Board of Trustees. She has been truly pivotal in what we're doing as a university, but she also has the pulse in, just the future of what we're doing as a brand, but also as a university. So I'm excited about this interview because it's showing, one, honoring, paying homage to Black, female, African-American, who's doing big and great things for us, but also be able to pick her brain and ask her questions that, maybe we want to know answers, or she's able to give us the 411 of what's happened, the State of the Union. So excited for her to come on next week to be a guest of our show.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely it's going to be a good one. Definitely going to be an insightful show, for the listeners out there. If you have questions, feel free to shoot up there for her. She'll be more than happy to answer the questions. She's been a backbone at Michigan State, especially through, all the trials and tribulations that's gone on the past few weeks. She's been the forefront of that, representing that for Michigan State.
So we got Jason that just tuned in. He was going to ask some color. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna, just say, hey, that's a good thing. I wanted to make sure people did send their questions in, because I know people do have questions, to ask trustees. It's very rare that you get a chance to have an open forum with them. And on our show, we will provide that for everyone. Right here in IMG right now, they're finishing up the camp for the day, and they're going to hand out awards for who gets invited to the All-American game. I'll catch up with David Stone, and then we'll put it before the show on Tuesday that you just promoted just now. So guys, we're here. It was a great event. We got some good video. It's amazing what these youth are doing in this day and age, man, to get prepared for the next level. The game keeps evolving, and it's a beautiful thing.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you if I want to put you on the spot. Is your boy working out right now too?
My son, boy?
Yo, boy, come on, man.
My boy. Yeah, of course.
That was him. I saw him. That's him.
Yeah.
Ooh, that boy out here. That boy moving, ain't he?
That boy lumbering down there.
295.
295 and 6'4", right? 6'5"? 6'4".
Yeah. 6'4". Yeah.
Athlete.
Yeah.
Hey,
playing on that offensive line.
Does the hair flow make it look better when he's running though? Like, is that what it is?
I wouldn't know. I mean, it does look better, but I never,
You never had that flow.
But I had a good grade of hair, though. I had a real good grade of hair. I had it. I had a good grade, man. You can still tell. But hey, I passed that on down to him. His mother had something to do with it too.
Yeah,
a little, right.
Yeah,
he worked out here.
How'd he do?
He did great.
Okay.
So this is a lot of raw talent and raw speed and agility and athleticism. As you know, you guys talked about where you went to train before the combine workouts, right? They break every event, everything you're going to be tested down to a science, man. Like, they know every step of the 40-yard dash. They know the techniques to touch the line on the pro agility or the 20-yard shuttle, or the 3-cone drill, rather. So there's much more that goes into it when it's time to go before you go to Indianapolis or wherever the combine will be. Most of the time it's in Indianapolis. These kids, they're just going for what they know. They lift, they run, they do all those things, but they don't have a technique all the way down like you get when you go spend those 2 to 3 months in Florida or in Indianapolis, for Choo-Choo's sake, working out and preparing for the NFL Combine. And then you know how it goes. Once you get that NFL contract, you'll never most of those guys don't run 40s anymore. That's over with. Right, Choo-Choo?
Yeah, you don't run anymore. You done.
You run, but you running for more skill set.
Yeah.
Your skill set, not out here 40. Yeah. But no, we appreciate this, man. You got people in the chat stating this is some great background information, education for those who still have some young kids coming up. And you got Mr. Tatum, saying great lessons, guys. And he was a parent who went through this high school recruiting as well. But definitely, this is good insight, man.
Johnny?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. No problem, guys. Hey,
thank you, Jason.
Signing off, guys. I want to close it out the right way, fellas. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
I'll be listening.
Oh, go ahead. Let's see.
The pressure's on. The pressure's on. We are gonna, with that said, we're gonna put a bow on things today. And for Jason Strayhorn, who is in at IMG in Florida, for Otis Wiley, who's on the west side of the state, I am Jehuu Caulcrick, and you have been listening to This is Sparta MSU. And as Jason would say, good night, God bless, and go green.
Go white.
This is Sparta MSU as a combined presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. The show is produced by Pete Menez with additional support from Tony Costella. Operations and social media support is provided by Alicia Strayhorn with support from Cecily Max Brown. On-location technical support is provided by Good Fruit Video. Be sure to follow our hosts Jason Strayhorn, Jehuu Caulcrick, and Otis Wiley on social media. To stay up to date with all the latest This is Sparta News, please like and subscribe by visiting our link tree and tell a friend to do the same. Thank you for your support, and as always, go green.